Боловсрол суваг телевиз, Jet School of English хамтран үзүүлж байна. Англи хэлний асын зайн сургуульд.
Hello everybody again. My name is Edith and I am an English teacher of Jet School of English in Mongolia. Welcome to our intermediate English TV course on pronunciation. This is our fourth lesson today. During the last weeks, we learned about many things. We studied the stress pattern of sentences, the stress pattern of words and syllables. We learned about the tone of voice. And also we studied the correct pronunciation of punctuations and quotes. And finally today we are going to add an important thing: how you express your agreement and disagreement in English by your tone of voice. Listen to this short conversation and observe my tone of voice and the end of each sentences. Two people are talking about sports. First, football is so boring, isn't it? Yeah, I know, I hate it. I mean, it is just 22 people running after a ball. I know, how can it be interesting? No, golf is much more interesting, isn't it? This short question, isn't it, is called question tag. You could hear this question tag 2 times in this short conversation. First, however, with a falling tone, at the end with a rising tone. There are many kinds of question tags according to the verb tenses of the sentences. For example, am I? Aren't you? Doesn't it? Does it? Haven't we? Does she? Doesn't she? Etc. We use the question text to express our opinion and to show our speaking partner that we are expecting his or her agreement or disagreement. In this case, the tone of voice at the end falls. Furthermore, the question tag helps us check if certain information that we're supposed to know is correct or incorrect. Listen to the rest of this conversation about football and sports. Golf is much more interesting, isn't it? Well, you like golf, don't you? It's all right, I suppose. You don't sound very sure. Well, I guess I am not really a sporting person, you know. Don't you is another question tag that is added to the sentence by the speaker to check if the information is correct that he knows about his friend. He told, "You know golf, don't you?" In this case, the tone of voice goes up at the question tag. Now, I will tell you 2 more sentences. The content of the sentences will be exactly the same. However, I will pronounce them with different tone of voice. Listen. I think they are good. I think they are good. So these sentences were the same, right? First, I told you, I think they are good. I think they are good. What is the difference? In the first case, my tone of voice fell at the end of the sentence, which is showing that I am sure about that they are good. I have no doubt, so it is my opinion, they are good. However, in the second sentence, the tone of my voice didn't fall. It was kind of flat. I told like this. So, I think they are good. Or, I think they are good. Now, you can see that the words are exactly the same in these sentences, but because the tone of my voice were different in the two sentences, that is why we have a very different meaning of these sentences. In the first case, I told with a falling tone of voice. I told, I think they are good, which means that I have no doubt they are good. In the second sentence, I told the sentence with a flat tone of voice, which was showing that I want to continue this sentence. I will add something to it. So I have some doubt. I say that I think they are good, but then I indicate to the listener that I want to continue. I will add something like, but I don't think they performed in the best way today, for example. So I add some more information and I indicate with my tone of voice to the listener that I am not very sure about what I am saying now. Now I will tell you again two sentences with the same words but with different intentions. First, it's too hot, isn't it? Yeah. Let's open the window. In this case, I just wanted to check if my friend agrees with me that it is too hot here. So my tone of voice at the question tag fell. I will tell again. It's too hot here, isn't it? Yeah, isn't it? I told like this, which means that I am sure that it's hot. My friend feels the same, so I don't need too much agreement. I'm sure he will agree. The second case. We sometimes have snow in Morocco, but it's too hot, isn't it? No, at least not in the mountains. So in this conversation, you heard that my tone of voice rose in the end of the question tag. I told like this. But it's too hot there, isn't it? Isn't it? Yeah, isn't it? The tone of voice rose in the end, which means that I am not very sure. I have an idea that Morocco is a hot country, but I am not very sure because my friend told me that there is snow in Morocco. So this is a real question. It is like checking the information and it's not just waiting for agreement. Now, do these exercises alone. You see some sentences here without the question tag. Add the appropriate question tag to them and read the sentences aloud 2 times with different tones. First, with a falling tone to indicate that you are sure about your opinion. Second time, ask the question with a rising tone to indicate that you are not really sure and you want an answer. We are quite good. This is the question. There is no question tag here. So we should put there, we are quite good, aren't we? We can make it 2 different ways. First, we are quite good, aren't we? Or, we are quite good, aren't we? If you say, aren't we? It means that you are sure that you are good. Yeah? We are quite good, aren't we? You just want the agreement, but you are sure about what you are saying. In the second case, we are quite good, aren't we? It means that you feel good, but maybe we are not that good. So you want agreement from your listener. Then, she likes you. The question tag would be, doesn't she? You can say, she likes you, doesn't she? Which means that this girl really likes that boy, and you are sure about this opinion. In the other case, she likes you, doesn't she? Which means that you have a doubt, you are not very sure about it, so you are asking the question. Let's see more about how we express our real opinion by the tone of our voice. 3 people are talking about their holidays. Listen. There is speaker A, speaker B, and speaker C. Okay, speaker A is asking the questions. Speaker C and B, they are answering according to their own perceptions. Speaker A asks, So, how was your trip? Speaker B answers, oh, it was quite nice. Speaker C answers, what do you mean nice? It was brilliant. Then next question, good hotel? Quite pleasant, I guess. Pleasant? It was excellent. Superb. Then next question, how about the food? Speaker B, it was okay. Speaker C, okay? It was absolutely delicious. Then the question, and the scenery? Speaker B, quite pretty. Speaker C, it was amazing, beautiful. So you see, when you want to express a strong impression, a strong opinion, using strong adjectives such like brilliant, excellent, superb, delicious, amazing, you have to support the sense of your sentences with a high voice, a high tone of voice. However, there are some interesting and very, very funny cases about using strong adjectives, not with a high voice. In some situations, people pronounce strong adjectives with a flat voice. Listen to these two sentences. What is the difference between these two? We have won a holiday to Jamaica. Brilliant. Brilliant. Or, our flight is cancelled. Brilliant. So, in these two situations, the answers were the same, brilliant. But first, it was like brilliant. Yeah, brilliant. With a tone of voice that rose and fell. In the second case, it was flat. Brilliant. So what does it mean? Of course, in the first case, the speaker was very happy about it, and the person who answered was the same happy. So he said brilliant from his heart. In the second case, he used the same word, but with this flat voice, he indicated that it is absolutely not what the word means, but it is the opposite. It means that, oh, it is a horrible news that the plane was cancelled.
Эхлэлийн хэл болсон англи хэлийг сурган хөлийг нь хөгжлөө нийлүүлж
Хэлийг минь олон улстай хөгжиж үзсэн.
сурах орчин сургалт эстэй
Шинжлэх хөтөлбөр
олон улсын стандартад нийцсэн хамгийн сайн сургалттай
Таны амжилтын жигүүр болсон 20 жил. Хятад хэлний алсын зайн сургалт. Тун утгагүй боловсрол суудаг хийзээ.
Let's continue our fourth lesson in our intermediate TV course on pronunciation. Today we are learning about the tone of voice in the tech questions and also in the case of strong adjectives. Now listen to this dialogue and guess what the speaker means by his answers. Does she really mean what she says, or she means maybe the opposite by using the strong adjectives? We had to stay in a 5-star hotel. How awful for you, was the answer. Or the second case, we had to stay 2 days at the airport. How awful for you. So you see here that the answer, how awful for you, is a very negative answer, right? Awful is a negative word. But in the first case, this answer came after a very positive sentence. So the person who answered, how awful for you, was a kind of joking. He didn't really mean that it's an awful thing to stay at a 5-star hotel. So the tone of voice didn't rise and fall, but it was like, how awful for you. It is a kind of little bit cynical and a little bit funny way of answering a very good news. However, in the second case, we had to stay 2 days at the airport. Of course, it is really horrible. So the answer was like, how awful for you. In this way, by the tone of voice, the speaker indicated that he or she understands how really awful it was for that person. So he thought, how awful for you, with a rising and falling accent. Okay, next one. They say we don't have to pay. It's free. Brilliant. They say we don't have to pay. It's free. Brilliant. So in this case, this person is really happy about this news. So they say, brilliant. Okay. Now I will tell you some more interesting and funny things that you can hear from English-speaking people's mouths. Listen to this short conversation. Oh, this coffee is really horrible. Yeah, I know. Machine coffee. I mean, why do we drink this stuff? It's sort of like someone puts the content of an ashtray and like heats it up or something, you know. Yeah, that's what it tastes like. I mean, should we try the tea? Then, what do these short phrases, such as like, I mean, sort of like, you know, mean? These words do not have any specific meaning in the sentences. They are often used just to fill up the gaps while someone is really thinking about what to say exactly. Now compare these pairs of sentences. Tell me everything you know. She's telling me everything you know. So in these cases, you heard the same words 2 times, you know. But in the first case, the person really meant what he told. Tell me everything you know. Yeah? In the second sentence, she told like, she's telling me everything you know. This you know does not really have a meaning in this case. That is just like connecting the conversation and continuing the conversation. Another case. We like to go away at the weekends. We like to go away at the weekends. Or, we like go to the beach or something. So this word like had 2 different meanings in this pair of sentences. First, we like to go away at the weekends. This means that we really like that thing. This is an action here. The second times, we like go to the beach or something, which means that the person is not really giving a very exact answer. So this like is used just like a kind of word to fill in the gaps, to show that he is not really giving an exact information. That is why he adds in the end like, or something, which means like maybe going to the beach, maybe they will do something else. Next example. I mean the one on the right. I mean the one on the right, which means like I want something with that thing that is on the right side. The other case, I mean, what's the point in buying one shoe? That means that I'm just asking this question. This means, I mean, this has no any specific meaning here. This is just a connection between my sentences. I mean, what's the point in buying one shoe? All right, I hope you learned many new things about English pronunciation and the usage of English language. Today, we studied about pronunciation and the tone of voice of question texts, as well as the words well and anyway while we are telling a story. And also we learned about how we can support the meaning of strong adjectives by the tone of our voice. From now on, when you speak or read, pay attention to your tone of voice. See you next week at the same time. Bye.